Hi everybody. Okay, so this is take two. I tried to get on live on Facebook a few minutes ago and it was not working at all. Super frustrated, but I'm back. So hopefully we can get this thing going again. All right, so my name is Jackie Peterson. For those of you that I don't know, I am a mom of two. I'm also a health and fitness coach, and it's my mission to help moms live healthier and balanced lives while honoring your priorities. And so today, what I'm talking about is a topic that has actually been highly requested, and it's something that I personally went through. And it's the topic of I'm 5 months postpartum and I still look pregnant. And I actually made a post about this earlier today from my own personal experience, and I want to just real quick address that post because I feel like it's important for you guys to understand like kind of what I've been through personally and why I'm passionate about talking about this topic and why I think it's valuable to you if you are a new mom and you might be going through this, or even if you're not a new mom and for whatever reason you're hopping on this video, you can kind of understand the logic behind what I was sharing. So when I posted that, so my baby now is 14 months, all right? So this was me kind of going back in time to when I was 5 months postpartum and the frustrations that I was going through. When I was 5 months postpartum, I could not have posted this. I would not have been emotionally strong enough to post something like as vulnerable as I did today. But now that I've been through the challenge, I've overcome it, I'm able to kind of put it out there for people to see. But it also kind of annoys me when people comment on things and they're like, well, you look amazing. I don't see why this is a problem. Like, that's not the point, okay? The point is, yeah, to the rest of the world, it's this, okay, so it's this body dysmorphia thing. When you know, like, what your body looked like before, or what your body looked like after baby number one, or what your body looked like before kids, and then it drastically for you changes, that's a valid feeling. And so while everyone can tell me or can tell you if this is what you're going through, you look fantastic, you look amazing, like you look incredible, right? It doesn't take away the fact that I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. I would never post something like that to get like a confidence boost or to be superficial or to think like, oh, I'm just worried about like my body. This post was more about, or the point of this post I should say, was more about like how I felt in that moment and how a lot of moms feel after having a baby, because you are struggling with this like inner competition, if that makes sense. Like you're competing with like how you used to look, and doesn't mean it's right. It's probably not right. It's not right to feel that way. Okay, well, it's not right to not feel that way. It's not right necessarily. However, the feelings are valid. Like if you are struggling with that, your feelings are valid. Because, you know, we are our harshest critics, right? We're our harshest critics, and everybody else can see us from the outside and say like, oh, everything's perfect, everything's incredible, right? That's how probably most people see you. And I'm sure that's exactly where I was too. However, like we're always like hard on ourselves. So that being said, this post was for the mom that is going through that. And if you haven't experienced that type of like body dysmorphia or just not feeling like good, like it wasn't even about like necessarily the physical stuff. Yeah, the physical stuff, okay, is frustrating, but it's even more like the internal stuff. Like why can't I figure out what's going on with my body? Why do I feel so much inflammation all the time? Like that's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's not just the physical stuff. It is like internally uncomfortable. The way that your stomach feels, like the energy levels that you have, like it's all related. If you think the outside is not related to how you're feeling on the inside, you're very mistaken. Like it's all related. And so this post was for the mom that is going through this right now or has struggled with that and can relate to that. And what I want you to know is that your feelings are valid. It is okay to feel that way. However, you also have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself time, because it really does take time for your body to like overcome, you know, all the changes that you've just made. even if you're 5 months, like, right, it takes you 9 months to make that baby. So it doesn't make sense that it would only take you 5 or 6 months to recover, right? It takes a long time for your body to fully recover, internally, externally, your hormones, your emotions, like all that kind of stuff, right? So what I want to do today is give you a few kind of tips that can help you to overcome this. Like, these are actual practical tips and reasons why you might be struggling with this right now, and things that I didn't know that I wish I would have known a little bit earlier. And I had to do the research to figure out, okay, what is really going on with my body, right? So the number one thing, obviously, like I said, is give yourself grace, give yourself time. It takes your body time to recover and to heal, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself. The second thing is food, okay? Food is a huge one. Now, I was eating clean, okay? I was eating very clean. I was eating nutritious foods. I was doing workouts, okay? However, what most people don't know, and what I didn't realize, because it hadn't happened to me, it didn't happen to me after I had my first baby, but it did happen to me after I had my second baby, and each pregnancy is different, and each postpartum experience is going to be different, is that your hormones can change with each baby and with each experience, and that changes what kind of foods you're sensitive to, what kind of intolerances you have, how your hormones react to those foods, how your gut health changes, because your gut health can be completely compromised after having a baby. And especially if you think about like your habits after having a baby, like maybe you were eating clean at 5 months postpartum or 6 months postpartum, like you had gotten to that point, but maybe like a few months before you were forgetting to eat all the time, or you were just grabbing for easy junk inside your pantry or whatever your mother-in-law would bring over to your house. Like you weren't really like, you didn't care because you're like, I just have to survive right now. So maybe you were eating a lot more sugar than you had before. Maybe you were eating more fried foods than you were before. Maybe you're eating a lot more like carbs and gluten and blah, 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 right? Before. And that's what compromised your gut health, which is where everything starts, okay? And this is what I've learned, is that your gut is where everything starts, okay? If your gut isn't healthy, that's what causes the weight gain. That's what causes the food sensitivities. Whoops. Okay. That's what causes the food sensitivities. That's what causes the bloating. That's what causes the gas. That's what causes the inflammation. That's what causes all of that kind of stuff, okay? And so what you would want to consider is figuring out what am I sensitive to? How has my body changed? How have my hormones changed? What kinds of foods might I need to eliminate from my diet for a short period of time so that you can, number one, get your gut healthy, because your gut microbiome is the number one reason why you're seeing thyroid issues, bloating, your stomach like going crazy, right? Or it's just not the same as it used to be. It's why your energy levels might be super low. There's a lot of things that go into this, okay? I'm not going to go into super detail, but what you can do is start eliminating certain things from your diet. Cut out more of the sugar. Maybe try eliminating dairy for a week or two. Try eliminating soy or gluten, like different things that are just common inflammatory foods. Eliminate them from your diet. Now, for me, this didn't happen all at once, okay? It was trial and error to figure out, like, okay, what is my body sensitive to? And so I cut out some of those things, and I started eating even more of the good things. So I ate a lot more healthy fats to try and reset that. I ate a lot more nutrient-dense foods, lots of seeds, lots of nuts, lots of veggies, lots of really healthy proteins, complex carbs, things that are good and healthy for you, okay? Start with the sugar, though. Like, sugar is usually going to be the biggest culprit. That's usually what's messing with your gut health. You can do something in a probiotic is a really good option because that can help your gut health as well. So that was one of the first things I did, is eliminate sugar, and then I added in a probiotic. I also started adding kefir to my smoothies, which has the most, so it's actually like a cultured dairy product, but most people that have dairy sensitivities can actually tolerate kefir because it has so many like healthy probiotics in it. It has like thousands more than even yogurt does. So that's a good option. So on to the next topic. That's nutrition, right? We know food is really important, and that's really the most important thing and where it all starts. But the second thing is your alignment. So this is another thing that can affect the way that your stomach looks, or the way that your stomach is kind of shaped, is your alignment. So especially after you've been pregnant, your body is just like way out of alignment anyways, because you've been carrying this massive baby inside of you, and this extra weight. But then you also think about after you have the baby, you're carrying the baby on your hips, you're breastfeeding, you're hunched over, like your body is definitely out of alignment, and that can affect your core as well. It can put a lot of pressure on like your rectus abdominis and your transverse muscles, and that can weaken everything, and that's when your core can start to protrude as well. So that's another thing you need to be really cognizant of. And then the third reason why you might still be, looking pregnant after having your baby and you're several months postpartum. And guys, when I say 5 months postpartum, it's not necessarily 5 months postpartum. I've just heard 5 months postpartum from a lot of women, and that's around the time when I started noticing these things, so it could be a different time for you. Okay, so number 1 is food, eliminating inflammatory foods, getting your gut healthy, and focusing on removing the inflammation, okay, and eating really nutrient-dense foods. Number 2 is your alignment. And number 3 is having diastasis, or you're doing the incorrect core work. So you might be doing workouts, but you might be putting way too much pressure on your core. And I actually have a blog post on diastasis. Basically what that is that that's an actual abs. Your abs are separated, okay? And this happens through pregnancy because your muscles are stretched out so much. This can happen to a lot of women. For me, I had a little bit of this. It wasn't the biggest issue. My biggest issue was the food and the inflammation. But I did have a little bit of this, so I had to be really just kind of careful about like doing some breathing exercises, doing the right types of core work, doing a little bit of the modifications, because that can definitely be a major issue. If your abs are separated, you have to work to engage your core, and instead of pushing your stomach out, right, when you're engaging in these core muscles, you have to be really focused on bringing it up and in, and kind of like tucking, and that's what eventually is going to heal that diastasis and bring your abs back together. And I am not an expert in this area. However, if you go to my blog, Jackie Peterson Fitness, I have an expert who did a blog post for me on my blog that tells you how to know if you have diastasis. She gives you exercises that you can do to help heal diastasis, if this is an issue for you. So definitely make sure to check that out if you feel like that could be a problem for you. So I hope that this was really helpful for you moms that are struggling with, just trying to figure out why your body has changed so much and why you're not maybe seeing the progress that you want to, or why you're like, why do I still look pregnant? Like, I just don't even get it. Like, I feel like I would be way further along by this point in my postpartum journey. You are not alone. Your feelings are valid, but you're probably also being way too harsh on yourself. Give yourself grace, give yourself time. Look into these tips that I gave you as far as the food, removing inflammation, getting your gut healthy, getting in proper alignment. Like, doing yoga is really great for that. Being really cognizant of like sitting up straight, not like tucking your pelvis under when you're holding your baby, not arching your back too much. Just being in good alignment and like being really cognizant of that. One thing that I did to help was yoga and Payo. I did a lot of Payo as well, and that really helped for sure as well. And then third is diastasis, or doing the wrong type of core work. That's putting too much pressure on your core. And so really trying to focus on bringing it in and up. And again, refer to my blog post on JackiePetersonFitness.com. If you are a mom and you do want to dive deeper more into these topics and you really just want to get a jump start, I do have a 3-day free challenge that I'm hosting starting on June 25th. And it's a 3-day button get challenge, and we're going to go into more detail on nutrition. I'm going to give you daily workouts. I'm going to give you a meal plan. I'm going to give you all the goods. for that week to just really help you get back on track. And that's really the goal here, and to do it in a healthy way that honors you, that honors your lifestyle, that honors your priorities and the season of life that you're in. So if you want to join that 3-day challenge, I will post a link here in the comments so that you can get enrolled and join us. All right, you guys, hope you're having an awesome Friday. Enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.